welcome back to Ultimate Bravery. This match it kind of worked out nicely, except I have no keystone because they didn't give me enough points in my masteries to give me that. But I got Nami, and I was supposed to be ADC, but I convinced my support to switch with me, so I don't think that's technically breaking rules. But next time I think I'm just gonna do what this tells me to, with the random and stuff. Anyways, we're going to die. That's Gafiki, and that's his bird. You're on the interwebs. Say hi.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. The only reason I'm wearing pants is because I knew you were coming over.
I told him to put pants on because I didn't want you breaking up with me.
Which is bullshit. Wear pants when I show you.
Oh gosh.
Kaylee.
What?
Want to drink a beer?
Yes.
Go
I have
pop open a.
motherfucker.
Cool. You're on the
There's
internet.
all those beers left. There's that sangria one of yours.
Go bring me a beer. You want a beer?
I don't want a beer.
Why?
Because I don't drink beer.
Repeat after me. I'm a bitch. The Sinister Black. Sinister Black. Ooh, Archduke-Gnosis. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Earth Namity. Earth. So what? We have no jungle.
I'll tell you this quietly, because that. I'm not in my main spot. How fucking weird is that?
A fucking slut put on your panty suit bottoms?
No.
I don't have to do it. Open my beer.
Yeah, me neither. Sorry.
Sick, dude.
I know.
Dude, there's nothing better than beer that's been sitting out for like
A week.
2 weeks.
4 months. It's room temperature and it's like 95, so yeah. Definitely not gonna get sick off this one.
Fuck off.
Alright, so my W does. Oh, sick! I got my heal first.
Show you
What are you, support or what?
Yeah.
So you know how my mom likes TJ?
Yeah.
TJ likes Jasmine. TJ has a crush on Jazzy.
That's what I figured. Your mom was way too old.
He has a major crush on Jasmine.
Oh, I just realized I goofed on the last game,
But
guys.
they were hugging and all that good shit.
I didn't start with my thing. I started with Warding Totem,
Ooh.
which is cheating. It's pretty good, right?
That one's really good.
Yeah, it's
I
called
should've drank this one first.
Bitch Drink.
Damn, bitch.
Earn 650 gold. I can do that. Using.
Stop licking my goddamn feet, you fucking
Orange
piece
pear.
of fuck.
Or. Okay, so it's a mixing match.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
It is. I like it.
It's very fruity.
I'm
Because
gonna
you're a
walk
big
right.
fruit.
Check, face check. First rule league, guys. Always face check. That actually worked out pretty good.
Doesn't matter, he's been good.
I'm just closing. I'm not closing all the way. I'm just...
Okay. YouTube. This is Ultimate Bravery. They say hi back.
There's nobody here. So what do I do? Enemy. Okay, whoops. You fucking turn that shit on. Enemy killed by your ally drops. Sometimes. Cool. Oh no, I don't want no damage. No damage. You have nowhere to hide. Did I go? I went AP. Okay. Ah, damage. Oh, you want to get CC or aid? I'll AARP your ass.
Looks like Misfortune knows how to play Misfortune. That's good. Nice. Doesn't that heal your teammates too?
Yeah. I choose not to use it that way. Yeah.
Whoa.
Keith Jones.
Keith Jones.
Oh, he has teleport? No, what does he have? He's gotta have teleport. He's got teleport heal. Ooh, watch this. I'm gonna boop some bitches. Oh yeah, get wrecked, mate. I don't know how well that worked out, but yeah, we gotta just cool our jets. We gotta cool our jets. She got some life steals, so see her health? It's okay. She can't get all in right now, so I'm not gonna heal her. But I am gonna just bait a bomb. No bomb. Okay.
Oh.
I done goofed. Oh yeah, rip. Gotta max my W first.
No mana.
It's okay. I don't need it.
Oh, nice hit. Boop. Oh my god.
Worth. Hashtag worth. I'm gonna get my shit in order. That way bitches can't boot me.
Ultimate bravery indeed.
Tips. Sick. Ass. Dora. 2. Lady. If only I could type without reading everything that I'm saying, that would be me functioning at more than, oh my god. I think I'm gonna support Maokai. Although, I mean, this bot lane is pretty juicy. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? If I end up needing to switch out an item later, can I do it? Like my ward trinket.
I don't know.
I don't know how to bravery.
Do you even bravery, bro?
Right?
This is the way to play League, though.
Hell yeah. Heal up, baby boo.
Because then it's like ARAM, but for an actual game.
Yeah.
Chooses everything for you.
Oh, sick dodge, dude. That was a sick. Did you see that sick dodge?
They're gonna try to boop you. They're gonna try to boop you.
They can try to boot me all they want. They can't. I don't think they're ready for this sketty. Oops. I saw that coming. I'm gonna boop some bitches. Yeah, get wrecked.
Are we really gonna have a video we can put up though?
Yeah, man. Oh shit, we got jungle. We got jungle. We got jungle. We got jungle. Hug tower. Just hug tower. Come on, come on. One more. Yeah! Good wreck, bitch. We shouldn't be happy about that.
Right. 2 for 1.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go Lichbane because that's in my thing. Lichbane. But first, I'm gonna get boots while I'm here. Ooh, Bran coming for the kill. Get wrecked, mate. Oh, God, that's not good. But I gotta get my boots. Go, go, Power Rangers. Oh, Maokai. Oh, sweet baby Maokai. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Oh, come on.
Ghost it. Oh, God, run. Don't fucking die. Don't fucking die. You're gonna all fucking die. Come on, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Jesus. Fizz is OP.
Okay, we're just not gonna have shit the same hotkeys. Oh, fuck you.
Wow.
That was some shit, man.
If you had your ult right there, you would have gotten him though. Oh my god.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, yeah. Rip me. I can't do shit. I can't. I chased. The chase is real, boys.
Dude.
Warm beer. Gross. Emperor's favor. You can receive elixir of skill. Cool. Oh, that's right. That shit gives me an extra fucking skill point. I get my skill point at my max thing at 17, so it's fucking useless. I mean, really quite useless. Malkiki, really? We're just gonna. Oh, okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Walk away. Just walk away. Walk away. Yeah, good way to waste your ultimate, you fucking idiot. Oops. I got booped. I got booped. I got booped. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Woo! I'm out. Peace out. I'm out. I'm out. I don't want none. Oh, yeah. Get that kill. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. I got 6, 5. Oh, my God.
Oh, get him. Get that motherfucker.
I think I fucked myself.
Oh, slurp.
Got him. Got him, boys. Time to get some Merc Treads. I can get Merc Treads. I like that. Let me see. I got 850. Let's see if I can do Lich. Up in the. Oh. Merc Treads doesn't help me yet. I need a ward. So this is an opportunity. Notice how we're all getting boopity booped?
Yep.
This is not ward at all. It's right here, but it's super safe because we have no. They have Skylar Crab, or we have Skylar. We don't have it, but it's gone. Regardless, somebody has it, and it's not us. It has to be them. Gotta make sure that shit's warded. That way, when there's nobody here, and nobody here, and nobody here, they're getting something, and it's probably that. It's not, but it means they're getting something. If we can get tower, that'd be sick. Be sick if I had some fucking, mana regen. Okay, we're just not gonna do the Q. Oh, and we do it and we just miss it. That's sick. I'm gonna stop using the word sick.
Yeah, when has the word sick ever started to become a good saying?
Okay, 2600 ping. I'm gonna die. Holy shit, 3K ping. I don't know where anything's at.
Because Keely's on the internet now.
Fucking bitch.
Fucking bird. Wow, this game turned real fast.
We're not losing.
We just have double kills.
I'm gonna say this and then she's gonna die. A-F-E.
God
Fuck.
damn. Yeah,
Right
'cause it
there.
took you so long to fucking say it.
Right?
Wait, I thought you got those boots.
No, I told him.
Hmm.
Oh. What is it? Is it alt? There we go. Fuck. Top's gone. Yeah, top's already gone.
Bottom is too.
Oh shit. Kill him. Just turn around and kill him. Fuck. You can't. God damn it. See, now he's got a pet dragon.
Oh, what the?
He can, his ultimate revives whatever he kills and it works on dragons. Because they thought that was a good idea.
That was a pretty good idea.
Now when I'm not Mordekaiser. See, now he's got a copy of her.
Like same health and everything? Yep. Wow, that makes it hard.
Fucky, fucky, sucky, my ducky. Oh, come on. Fuck it, I don't need boots. I'm a brave boy. I'm gonna go fuck up Nasus. I'm gonna be Nami and I'm gonna fuck up Nasus. How many sacks this nigga got? Shit. Oh, he's got Thorn Mail? Oh, I can't do nothing about that. I don't do any AD damage. Getting that CS. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shitty shit. I done goofed. This is not going so well. going the opposite of so well. Alright, well, this Riven, she's dead. She's gonna die. Oh, cool. We can forfeit in a minute and a half. I think most of these matches, they're gonna be a forfeit kind of thing. Like, make it a good distance, and then we just end up forfeiting because we're bad. Got him. Get rid of her. Shit. Fucking, he got his res off. Come on, ult. Somebody get some. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah! Alright, so now let's focus some shit. We're gonna lose. We are not. We can't. Oh, I got my Lich Bane! It's not gonna do nothing. I got no AP. What else can I build? I've got Sunfire Cape, Yumu's Ghostblade, and Runan's Hurricane. I mean, I've also got Merc Treads. I need Merc Treads. I don't need Merc Treads. They're actually not going to do shit for me, but they might. Oh, my God, boots. Ooh. But I mean, it's not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking. I mean, I'm support, so I probably shouldn't be looking for damage, but I'm looking for some damage. Come on. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So they are missing, which means they're going to be here. We need wards in this. Oh, okay, so no. I need to not face check. No face checking. They're warding up dragons, what they're doing. That would be a smart play. Did we get a ward on there? We did not. Nami. Let's go Sunfire. Why not? Yeah, Sunfire. Let's get some defense up in here. It couldn't hurt. Oh my God. Get in there. Finish that shit. Kill him. Really? Good job. Nice. We should Baron? I mean, not the best idea, but it's definitely not the worst. Yeah, give me that shit. I need some sick gold. Nope. I need one more thing, I think. Is that it? I got my thing. Cool. Free skill point. Been doing Q, so I'm just gonna keep doing Q. We're gonna take a tower. We've got a couple towers. We got one tower. Let's keep booping some towers. I like that idea. Balls. Why? I mean, MF should have been there. It's not just MF's fault, but MF should have been there. Ooh, Nasus. He's got no MP. Kill him. Kill him. No MP. PM. Fuck. Never mind. Fizzy. Okay, well, let's see. Alright. I mean, we're doing pretty bad, but, I mean, we're not doing too bad. Yeah, there we go. Come on, guys. Alright, we got wave, we got no wave. Frickin' frickers. Let's sport some shit. See if we can get some deep woods up in here. I'm gonna do a thing. Oh nope, this is warded. This is warded. So he's gonna go hard. You gonna go hard? Nope. Nope. That wasn't the worst thing in the world. It definitely wasn't the best thing in the world. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. How is it through all that he gets executed? I mean, maybe it negates the whole, you just took damage in 2 seconds thing. You died, but your ult revived you. But still, that's some bullshitty shit. No follow-up, so I couldn't do shit. Alright, so come on. Get some CS, Rivy. No. Don't go hard. There's no reason to go hard. Just get some CS. We're gonna ward up some shit. I don't know what I was doing there. I'm gonna get you out. No, you should just be getting out. Should not. Oh shit! Lag. Alright, Brandon, you get out. I booped you. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just out. You go. You get out. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with this fucking lag. I don't like it. Nice. Got him. Yeah, boy. We're not doing so bad. No, we're doing terrible, but I'd like to believe we're not doing so bad. I can do that, right? I don't even, I mean, Yugmus, Merc Treads, I can't get shit. That's okay. Because it's bravery, bitch. Okay, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. We should not keep pushing it. Okay, well I'm gonna push because it seems like the right thing to do. Got him. Not today, boys. Nice. That wasn't such a bad trade. We did pretty damn good there. We need to take this tower while we can, though. Yeah, come on. No. Help us take the tower. Thank you. Okay, fuck me. Nope, just get out. We waited too long. Get out. Get out. We're going to make a safe path for Rivy. Fuck, I forgot. My Sunfire Cape, it does this thing where it aggroes enemies around me. That's why I died there. Trying to see ultimate bravery. So I'm gonna go Yugmus because I feel like I need some more move speed. I don't wanna go this route, but okay, how does it build? It's gotta build from fucking something, right? Fuck, no, it's all damage. That's what it is. It's all damage. Let's do that, and then a couple of these. Because, you know, anything that an AP... Oh, frickin' frick. Yeah, they got Nasher. Nope, you need a Vominos. If I can get up there, we might be able to make a play. Nope. We're just gonna disengage. Just disengage. Just disengage. Nope, that was a bad disengage. We got Zillion. We need to kill Nasus. Just kill Nasus. Just kill Nasus. Good. Now kill Mord. Mord. Good job. Now that dude. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Hell yeah. Did we just? No, he got out. But we need to take that tower. If we can take that tower, that means we could at least do something. He can tank it. He should be able to tank it. We didn't got that much. Yeah, 800. You can tank it. Tank it. Tank that shit. Tank it. Do it. Go. You use your shield, Riv. Come on, baby. Yeah, man. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. I want to win one. That's my only goal. And I mean, so far my build is shit, but he zigged when he should have zagged. Wow, really? No, you guys gotta run. No, you just run. You just run. That's all you gotta worry about. You just keep running. I'm gonna try to come help. I got you, boo. Boop. No, don't. Oh, fuck. That's game. Yeah, there's we got minions at our tower, which that's gonna fall. Riven's up at 9. That's pretty sick. We got Maokai working on that shit. They got NASA's working on that shit. We had a couple good plays. I'm not gonna lie. We did a couple cool things. I don't play Nami a lot, which is regardless because this is ultimate bravery. But yeah. I think we're gonna do one more after we lose this one, and hopefully, I don't even care. I think that's the thing is I don't even really care if I get a decent thing, because there is no decent thing in bravery. Fuck yeah, get wrecked. Got him. Come on, there we go. There we go. Make some plays. Kill that. Kill that. Bro. Oh wow, still alive. Oh, he probably got the ult. He's still alive with that Baron though. They're gonna get the dragon because they should get the dragon. They should all just back off and get dragon. We can't really defend. He shouldn't be there. He should. Well, I mean, they've got enough to kill dragon. There's just more down, and their jungler is up with Baron. So that's cool. I got my Yugmus though. I mean, that's I get myself some move speed and lethality. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna go Mark Trip. I'm gonna go with my boots. I'm gonna get some boots because I know I need them. I'm gonna need them. They still haven't gotten Dragon. I can't fully explain why. They've had plenty of opportunity. There we go. Should have been an earlier thing, but Riven's dead. Riven's dead. Riven's dead. I am gonna try to save the baby boo, but I can't promise anything. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Peace out, BB. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, Yugmus! Yugmus! Ah, come on! Fuck! Send it. Kill me now. Yeah, we can't do shit. We can't do shit. Ooh, sick. Got him. Got him. Well, anyways, that was Ultimate Bravery. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe because that's what you do on YouTube. Yeah. I will see you guys next time. I'm going to do one more game for tonight and see where that takes me. Hopefully to my win, because that's what I want. Bye!